Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. We're going to be doing October beauty favorites. I have a ton of new products that I have been super loving this month, so I'm just going to get right into it. First thing I want to spotlight is the Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I will touch on this again in another more in-depth video, but just for the sake of favorites, what I really want to tell you I love about this so much is that it's great for people with dry skin. So the way I like to utilize this in my makeup routine is after I've cleansed and done, my serums or toners, things like that, I will go in with this before my moisturizing step, and it just leaves my skin looking so instantaneously glowy, more plump, more bouncy. It makes the makeup that I apply on top of it just glide over my skin perfectly. Now, the first few times I used it, I was doing 2 to 3 pumps. I feel like that's way too much, although that's what is directed on the back of the bottle. I think 1 pump to half a pump is pretty ideal in my opinion, and I've also tried mixing it with some other matte foundations and really enjoyed how this gave the foundation a lot more spreadability and just made it look a lot better. So I'm really enjoying the way that this looks on my skin and the way it makes my makeup look, but there are also some really great added skincare benefits to this product as well. So I like the idea of having a bit of skincare before I go in with my makeup, and I just really love this. It's a great skincare product that doesn't conflict with makeup products that I'm wearing. Okay, so I sealed in the Merit Serum with my Tatcha Dewy Luminous Face Cream. Loving this, kid you not. This is so beautiful during the daytime. It just makes my skin look so moisturized and my skin just feels good for hours to come. I just love how this is kind of like a cocoon of moisture and dewiness for my skin. Love it on days where I'm wearing makeup, but I also love it just day to day. And it's also phenomenal during the nighttime. This is one of the only moisturizers that I can put on at night and still wake up in the morning and feel like I have a really great long-lasting sense of moisture and hydration on my skin. So I love how I can use this at night and then wake up in the morning and not feel like my skin is parched and dry and flaky. So I picked up another Fenty Ease Droplet. Previously, I had been using the one in Honey Citrine, which is such a gorgeous, stunning, like warm, amber undertoned illuminator. Perfect for the summertime when my skin's a little bit more tan, a little bit more deep. But I was noticing that the lighter my skin tone was getting, the more kind of like starkly orange it was looking on my skin. And so I love this illuminator so much that I picked it up in a lighter shade. So I got the shade Taffy Topaz. This is like a perfect winter shade for me. Now, what I really like specifically about the Fenty illuminator is that it is so subtle and so sheer. So it really leans itself great for a more textured skin type. If you don't want to emphasize texture on the skin, or you're just not looking for an overly strobed look, you're looking for something uber natural and just gonna give you a very realistic luminous finish. It also performs really nicely when you mix it in with foundations and concealers. I really have to spotlight this Merit complexion stick because it really does it all for me. I'm gonna show you on one side of my face versus the other side where I don't use any of it. And the first application, I just do a couple bits and bobs of spot concealing, and it honestly just blends into my skin so seamlessly. It looks almost undetectable. It gives me brightness, but also just camouflages all my zits and hyperpigmentation and just makes it disappear. But still, like the side with the Merit stick on it, it doesn't look like I have any makeup on. So those are just, little dot spot application of the product, but I also really like it swiped over the skin to create a little bit more of a full coverage look. And honestly, most days I will just wear this on its own, nothing else, and then a little bit of tinted brow gel, and I feel like I just feel so much more polished, and I feel like I don't look like I'm wearing makeup, but I feel like my face looks good. So I love this. When I tell you that the Anastasia Rose Metals palette was the first eyeshadow palette genuinely in years that has actually like inspired me and made me want to purchase it, made me want to play around with the colors in the palette, I'm so serious. I have just been buying single shades or pocket-sized palettes or quads. That tends to be like the things that I feel I actually use up in my eyeshadow collection, but like a palette like this, it takes a lot to get me to want to purchase a proper eyeshadow palette, and I just think that this Anastasia one is so stunning. I love all of these shades. They're so creamy, they're so emollient, they blend into your eyes like liquid pigments, and they're just stunning. This shade Rose Fire is kind of the star of today's look. It appears to be quite a, you know, bronzy orange in the pan, but I kid you not, it's got almost like shifts of hot pink and a little bit of almost like an emerald green in there as well. It's a very subtly multi-dimensional shade, and it's just super unique and super flattering. Really looks gorgeous with brown eyes, but I get excited about this eyeshadow palette, and I love all the tones. I'm just such a big fan of it. Like every time I want to do my eyeshadow, I find myself wanting to explore a little bit more of the Anastasia Rose Metals palette, and just like stunning shades for fall and winter, you know what I mean? Still absolutely adoring and obsessed with my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. I love the way that this just beams up and pearlizes my skin and just looks so luminous and gorgeous. I like to put it underneath my eyes for that little bounce of brightness, as well as the center of my face to just give it that little bit of pearly glow. And I love this. I love how you can sheer it out or build it up. I just think it is such a stunning complexion product. I kind of have like a little bit of a revelation when it comes to this product. So we all know the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour ones. I've always used the shade Medium Deep. It's quite a deep, dark bronze chocolatey brown. Now, I like this. I think it looks really great, but I was also finding like myself not wanting to reach for it as much the past couple months, perhaps because my skin tone's lightened up a little bit, or I don't know, I just felt like it was looking a little too muddy against my skin tone. And I thought that the fair to light medium would be a little bit too light for my skin tone, but I feel like this is like the perfect contour shade. It's a little bit more of a cool toned milky chocolate, and I love doing the little technique of, you know, contouring around my lip line with it, because I think it just makes me look like I have like lip injections. It just makes my lips look so much more full. And then I'll do a little bit of contouring around my cheekbones and my nose. I just always love the way that this comes out. I feel like this shade just works a little bit better for my skin tone. So I still have the medium one, but I tend to wear this one as more of a bronzing product and, you know, really warming up my skin tone and applying a lot of it at once. As with the fair medium one, I'm using this for contouring, and I feel like it just gives me a really nice, soft, natural appearance. So if you have a similar skin tone to mine and you purchase Medium Deep based off of my previous recommendation, I would definitely say try using this one as a bronzer and then using the lighter one for the contouring on the face. This setting powder is everything. I've mentioned in the past, you know, I'm not a powder girl. I tend to avoid powder at all costs, but I've really been experimenting with powder and finding some really great ones that don't completely mattify my skin. I love the blurring and brightening characteristics of this powder. So this is the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. Now, I just find this to be phenomenal in general because it's all these different shades. So you have like a light peach, an apricot, a green, and then a lavender. So when these powders mix together, they just create this really beautiful brightening effect on the skin. But you can also isolate specific shades that you want to counteract things on the face. So for example, I'll often use the green one just to hide red pimples. I find it to be a very subtle effect, but it still does help cut down on that redness. You can use the purple on areas that are a little bit more dull, and then the peach powders on hyperpigmentation that you really want to give a little bit of extra something to if your concealer is not completely hiding the hyperpigmentation. I think it is quite exceptional when you see this on my skin. Like, it just really blurs, brightens, and gives that really nice, like, natural but like perfected look. Bronzer I've been addicted to is not technically a bronzer, it's a face powder, but when you see it, well, I'm also wearing it right now, obviously, but when you see the demo application, you'll know why I'm so obsessed with it. So it's the NARS Light Reflecting Powder, and I have mine in the shade Sable. When I use this shade specifically as my bronzer, it adds just the right amount of warmth and dimension to my skin and really just gives my complexion like this nice, soft, natural looking glow. And for being a bronzer, it also looks really nice and natural, which I love. I just adore the way that my skin looks when I use this as a bronzer because I find it to just be really natural. It doesn't look too muddy, and it's just it's like a nice, quick, easy process to apply, and just the undertone and everything about it is so good. I am still super obsessed with the RMS Maiden's Blush Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. This is stunning, just like a really great everyday shade. I do like how it's quite punchy if you really build it up, but you can also just wear it, you know, softly over the cheeks, and it's going to give you a really nice, natural, kind of barely there, subtle amount of flush. And I've mentioned this before, but it has this really unique, beautiful, soft filtered effect on the skin. So the way that the luminous pearls in this product kind of deflect and bounce light off the cheeks almost gives a dewy illusion to the skin, but very angelic and just stunning. And I love this shade specifically. And I like the formula so much that I think I'll probably pick up another shade or two, but Maiden's Flush is just like my perfect everyday type of tone. Okay, I know that a lot of people really dislike powder highlight now. I know we're going for a lot of like cream products and things like that, but I have recently delved back into powder highlights and have really started enjoying them again, as much as I previously have. So specifically just for the fall and winter, I feel like I play around with my makeup a little bit more than I do in the summer and spring because I'm not as sweaty, so I can use a bunch of different products and I have a lot of fun experimenting. So I really do want to recommend this to you because I love it so much. I haven't been able to put it down since I purchased it. It's the Danessa Myricks Lightwork highlighting palette. Now you get 6 big pans of highlighting powders in this palette. So I believe that this is limited edition. So if you are interested, it's probably worth purchasing before it goes away, but this will last me literally years. These powders are so pigmented, so emollient, so buttery, silky smooth. They are absolutely stunning. Now I really like using these two right here to highlight the face and kind of apply it in the halo pop type of highlight versus the, you know, stripey the highlight. You know, I'm not really into that, but I really like using these as just like a pop on the high points of the face. And then I love this icy white. This is stunning and beautiful to use just on the inner corner of the eye as well as on the brow bone, or also high points of the face if you really want to strategically apply it to specific high areas of the face just to kind of get that like crystallized icy tone. And then you do also have some like pinky shades that you can use to like warm up some of the shades. I'm obsessed with it. And I really have been enjoying the Danessa Myricks brand as a whole, just in general. Complexion, she's amazing. Make Beauty's gel eyeliner, specifically the brown one. The black one's really great as well, but I've really been using the brown one a lot. So the brown one's in the shade Nebula. This is creamy, uber pigmented, just glides over the eye area so gently and really creamy. There's no tugging at all. It stays put. I wear it in my tight line, and it's one of those eyeliners that you're really lucky because you can put it in the tight line and it doesn't transfer to the waterline. So if you want just the fullness on the top lash line, oftentimes sometimes they'll transfer to the lower waterline just throughout the day as you're blinking. This stays exactly where you put it and it's beautiful. So Nebula from Make Beauty. And then I found a new mascara that I'm really into. I just really like the brush of this and the formula paired together. I think it just creates a really fluttery effect, which I'm very into. So this is the Milk Rise Mascara. I love that this is a bristled brush that is nice and lightweight, but the way the bristles on the wand are kind of spaced out enough to where they can trap the mascara formula into them so that when you're dispersing it through the lashes, you also are combing it through, so you get a really nice, clean, but still fluttery effect. And it also has a little bit of a dip in the wand, which I think just hugs and caresses that eye area so perfectly. Really great on the lower lashes as well, but I just like how it gives you really amazing length and holds curl throughout the day. I also have a new setting spray that I'm really enjoying. So this is the Huda Beauty Cocoa Glow setting spray. Now, first of all, the fragrance of this is addicting. If there was a perfume of this, I would buy it. I just love how it's light and fresh, but also like milky and warm, like coconut milk. It just smells so beautiful on the skin. The nozzle is also wonderful. It just gives you a really nice light dispersion of the mist onto the skin. It just adds that nice juicy element back to the skin after you've applied powder products. So just kind of reawakens that nice glow without adding a lot of, you know, pearl or making the skin look oily. I'm gonna finish off this favorites video with my favorite lip product. So the Rare Beauty Kind Words lip pencil in the shade Wise. This is a really gorgeous, kind of like nutty undertoned, mid-tone neutral brown. So it's got a good amount of coolness to it, but it's also got some warmth to it. So it really lays right in the middle. And the other thing I really like about these Rare Beauty lip liners is they are so melty. They just are so emollient and beautiful and just glide over your lips so perfectly. So I've I've been using this as my lip liner pretty much every single day. I adore the shade. I think it's really great for cheating the size of your lips and really overlining them. This is the JK Magic lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. I think this is one of the most flattering pink lipsticks I have ever tried. I adore how this is a pink and it's creamy and it's got a really good amount of opacity to it, but the way it sets down on the lips, it still reflects back light. I am so picky when it comes to pink lipsticks. I feel like I can never find ones that are exactly what I want, whereas with this one, I really love it, and I think it is a very soft feminine pink that is still super flattering, so I absolutely love that. And then I know I've mentioned this to you as well, the Gucci lipsticks, the Glow and Care lipsticks from Gucci. These are amazing. I'm so in love with them. I promise you that I will use these up, specifically the one in Stone, Lynette Stone. It is my favorite lip color I've tried in such a long time. I just adore the way that that looks. And then I also really like Peggy Taupe. Peggy Taupe's definitely going to be a little bit more of a winter shade for me, but I love how these are sheer and creamy and they just look so beautiful on your lips. Yeah, I didn't really delve too much into that many specific lip products, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of these, and they're all really good like everyday shades as well. All right, so those are all of my October beauty favorites. I hope you enjoyed the demo shots. Let me know what you like. Do you really like where we just sit and apply the products and talk about them together, or do you not really care about that type of stuff? Do you just want me to talk about it, show you the product, and we'll just have more of like a chatty style video in the next month? So let me know what you think. I will list and link all these products in the description box down below for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next one. Please don't forget to come follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and leave any suggestions you have for any future videos that you really want to see in the comments down below. And yeah, bye guys.